since his transfer to Temple.
Well, he stretches the defense because he can make shots, and this was a Temple team that struggled to make threes before he became eligible in December.
And from the moment he became eligible on December 18th, the Owls have taken off. They won 6 in a row from that point forward and really put themselves in a position, having won 11 of their last 14, to have the #1 snub label coming into this NIT. The Bison in their road orange with the blue lettering and white trim. The Owls in their home white with the cherry lettering and trim. Shot clock at 5. And again, that's notable here tonight as we see the silky smooth jump shot of Chris Haas. Only a 30-second shot clock, one of the 2 experimental rules being utilized in the NIT this year.
And certainly it will give more possessions. The idea is we've got college basketball right now in a scoring slump, and will that change to a 30-second shot clock help get us out of that slump?
Jump hook, not a foul in. All-conference freshman out of Reading, Pennsylvania, has his first 2.
And one of the biggest reasons why Bucknell exceeded expectations this year.
Well, the restricted arc is one of the 2 experimental rules being used in the NIT, the other being the 30 touched upon at the top, Rob. The big question in games like this in the NIT every year, how will a team like Temple respond to having been snubbed less than 72 hours ago?
And you and I asked Dumpf today at the shoot-around how his team was going to respond. He said, I don't know how they're going to respond in their first game in November. I'm not sure. We've had 2 real good days of practice. I think it helps playing on Wednesday as opposed to the quick turnaround on Tuesday after the Sunday selection show. But on the early go, they've not had the same energy that the Bison have.
Foul on the drive to the bucket will send Zach Thomas to the free throw line.
Well, Thomas, a terrific shooter, so you got to respect him out at the three-point line. Shoots it at 56% on the season. When you're that good of a shooter, all of a sudden guys start cheating out so you can put the ball to the deck and get by guys.
First foul on Jalen Bond. Well, for the fact that Fran Dunphy has won 500 career games as a college basketball coach, first at Penn and now crosstown at Temple, this is his very first game in the NIT. I find that hard to believe.
Well, when you think about it, the Ivy League, if you won the league, you went to the NCAA tournament.
Put back by Cummings and the foul.
There was one time back in 2004 where Dumpf thought his team may have been able to get an NIT bid, but they didn't get it. One of the things that certainly Temple thought they had an advantage coming in, throw the ball inside and go get it on the backboards. Rebounding such a key stat for both of these teams. Temple 16-1, Doug, when they out-rebound their opponent. On the other side, for Bucknell, 14-4 when they out-rebound an opponent. So certainly the backboards will be a big thing to keep an eye on.
There you see Bucknell, the automatic qualifier out of the Patriot League by virtue of winning the regular season championship, but they lost in the semifinals of their conference tournament to eventual champion Lafayette. And there's the series history that dates back nearly a century, although these 2 schools have not met since the early 80s. Temple leads the all-time series, as you might imagine, 29-5. But Coach Dunphy was talking about just how dangerous this Bison team is, and we have seen that in the NIT in recent years out of Bucknell. And you know, if your team's not ready to play on any given night, this is a Bucknell team that could knock you off.
Especially because of their three-point shooting. If Temple doesn't defend the three-point line and take advantage of their size inside, they certainly can find themselves in trouble.
Over the left shoulder, getting the roll is Jalen Bond. The transfer from Texas has his first 2. It's a one-point ball game.
And that's why they've got to continue to pound it inside, especially to Bond.
There's the quick catch and release. Haas 1 for 2 now from beyond the three-point line.
And he even looks good on misses. He's an athletic shooter. One of the reasons why he's been able to score so well against teams from Power 5 conferences.
That foul on Zach Thomas. His first, number 2 on the Bison. Corey Starkey, one of the co-captains, comes into the game, replacing Thomas, who picked up the foul. Nana Fowland also goes to the bench. Stephen Brown, the freshman, with a rebound, dribbles into the front court. Ben Oberfeld, the other Bison who has come into the game. Brown misses. This is Oberfeld, who had his pocket picked. Cummings into the lane. That is what he does. He gets himself to the line as well as anybody in the country, and a chance again for a three-point play.
He's taken over 200 foul shots on the season because of his quickness. Some guys get to the line because of their strength. He gets there because he blows by guys and puts pressure on you on your backline defense.
And while Will Cummings at 6'2", 185 is not the biggest guy, he is a developed senior, and he's taken advantage early of the freshman Stephen Brown, who picks up his second personal, both on and one buckets.
Yeah, he gets to the line and takes full advantage, shooting it at 79%, fifth best in the AAC.
And after Bucknell scored the first 6 points of the night, Temple has rattled off the next 8. Contested jump shot, one and done for Bucknell. Rebound, Devontae Watson.
So Temple has responded after that quick timeout by Fran Dunphy.
Oberfeld kept it alive. Starkey with the rebound. Open look from the corner off the mark. Another rebound grabbed by Watson. Jesse Morgan to the left hand, and another chance for 3.
Well, again, it starts with his ability to make threes. You got to run out at him. But Jesse Morgan with that schedule strength.
Well, you knew Temple was going to be one of those, and UCLA the other one. And UCLA certainly seemed to be the lightning rod on Selection Sunday by prognosticators, who then had to say, well, the Bruins, as we said, shouldn't be in, but they are.
Well, and you saw that strength of schedule, but Fran Dunphy's team non-conference, how about this, Doug? They played 2 number 1 seeds in Villanova and Duke, and a number 2 seed, oh, by the way, that they blew out by 25 in Kansas. So you want teams to go challenge themselves in the non-conference schedule. You can't challenge yourself any better than that, yet Temple was not rewarded. Great RPI, went out and played anybody who would play them, including those 3 teams we talked about. To me, it's a no-brainer that the Owls should have been in the NCAA tournament.
The Owls have scored 11 straight points on top of Bucknell in this first-round NIT game. Bucknell has missed its last 5 shots and also turned the ball over in that stretch of 6 possessions. 5 minutes in, there's the pull-up by number 5, well short. John has a narrow off the bench, misfiring on his first attempt. DeCozy for 3, and the Owls just keep pouring it on.
And DeCozy's a matchup problem. He's got good size and length at 6'5". Could stretch out the defense for beyond the 3, 36% on the season.
That snaps a scoring drought of more than 4 minutes. 14-8 Temple off the layup by Starkey.
Well, Temple trying to keep the ball out of Haas's hands out on the wings, and so you're going to get wing denial. Guys are going to have to put the ball to the floor to try and break people down off the dribble.
DeCozy tried to draw the foul, able to dump it inside for Watson, and the junior from Ambridge, PA, is on the board.
Now it's a clear advantage, size and strength for Temple inside.
The one guy Bucknell has, size-wise, who can match up, trying to find him on the post, is Fowland, all Patriot League rookie member.
You see wing denial trying to keep the ball out of Haas's hands. You see Morgan doing a great job hanging all over him so that they can put the ball to the floor, and on the other side take advantage of the size Temple can't settle for threes, Doug. They got to try and pound it in the paint.
Another strong drive, this time J.C. Shao, freshman from Clark Summit, Pennsylvania. And here come the Bison.
And Shao, one of those guys that can light it up at times off the bench for Dave Paulson. Part of a very talented freshman class.
Yeah, Rob, he went for 23 points at Siena back in December, averaging nearly 7 per game on the year, and rims out for Morgan. Shao pulls the trigger. Long rebound to Cummings. He goes 1 on 3, taken away. As an arrow back the other way. Leaves it for Casper. Shao. .12:40 remaining first half. The winner advances to take on George Washington in the second round of the NIT. Picozzi off the mark. And since number 3, Stephen Casper has come into the game, senior from Lakeland, Tennessee, the Bucknell offense has seemed to work better. And you could make a case that he is this team's MVP, certainly in the Patriot League competition. He's got a 3.5 to 1 assist to turnover, and he's a senior who was taken out of the starting lineup. Could have quit on the team. Instead, he continues to lead, picks up the assist there, and Fowlin will go to the line.
Yeah, here's a guy who's 5th all time in assists as he continues to add to the total. Dribble penetration, nice wraparound pass. Fowlin continues to finish off plays when they get him touches in the paint. As I said earlier, Doug, one of the reasons why Bucknell exceeded expectations. Preseason pick to finish 5th in the conference, but their freshman class, led by this guy, Ronald Fowlin, who is an all-rookie selection in the Patriot League, one of the reasons why they won the regular season.
Well, the sense in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania is that perhaps this season is a bonus. They're a little bit ahead of schedule. They graduated the Conference Player of the Year each of the last 2 years and have so many freshmen playing key roles right now.
And Dave Paulson today at shoot-around said exactly that. He said, we're a year ahead of where I certainly thought we could expect to be.
And so now Temple has beaten a ranked opponent, at least one, in each of the last 8 years. You see Temple in its 18th appearance in the NIT, but they wish so much they were in the NCAA. But now they have an opportunity to get on a run, close out the season strong, add to their 23 win total, and make it to Madison Square Garden if they can show the committee that they belong. And you know, so often, Rob, we talked to Coach Dunphy about this today. People talk about the eye test. Well, if you watch those highlights, if you saw that game against Kansas, this Temple team passed whatever that is, the eye test.
Yeah, up by 30 against Kansas, who's a number 2 seed. Yeah, that passes the eye test.
Temple with a basketball, up 18-12 over Bucknell.
Coming out of that timeout, they show full court pressure for the first time and force a turnover.
Bond to the left hand. And the rebound snared by Oberfeld. Bond slow to get up. Bucknell playing 5 on 4. And they're able to get to the rim. Oberfeld misses on the follow. Looked like Brown may have gotten a piece on the backside. And then the foul is called on the putback against Obi Anecchionia.
As you said, Bond on the other end, not involved in the play. You can see why he's so important to this Temple defense. It's an Owl team that really struggled last year. Fran Dunphy's team won just 9 ball games in their first year in the American because they couldn't guard anybody. Doug, they gave up 78 points per game last year, and this year that number is 60 points per game. That's the best differential in the country as far as cleaning things up on the defensive side. Nobody more important than the rim protector that they now have in Jalen Bond.
And one of the reasons Coach Dunphy says they've gotten better, of course they have new faces on the roster, but a guy who just went out with his second personal foul, Will Cummings, has played much better defense than he used to.
And what he does is he keeps guys in front of him so you don't get dribble penetration from the point guard, which puts so much pressure and collapses your defense.
Daniel Dingle misfires on his first attempt. Bucknell bench outproducing the Temple bench so far 6-0. Nice finish by Chris Haas.
And for as good a shooter as he is, he's a better scorer. So he's not just a guy that can make threes on the perimeter.
He's 6'5", has terrific hops, and he can finish at the rim better than you might think. And Bucknell with a chance to retie the ball game or take the lead. Thomas left alone, gives it back to Casper, and with 10 to shoot, he resets. The 30-second shot clock down to 2. Frazier beats the buzzer and buries it.
Well, great defensive possession from Temple, but they don't get anything to show for it because you got to play the entire 30 seconds.
This has been a game of runs. After Bucknell scored the first 6 points of the game, they're now on a 13-4 run. And the turnover committed by Devin Coleman.
And that kills you. 1 second on the shot clock when he let it fly. A deep three. He said sometimes you can have a great defensive possession and get nothing to show for it.
Rob, that was the third Temple turnover. 9:17 remaining first half here in Philadelphia.
And they take care of the basketball. Average less than 10 turnovers per game. 11th best in the country. I think of Temple Owls teams under John Chaney. That's what made them so good.
Quick first step by the senior from Lakeland, Tennessee, Stephen Casper.
As you said, you can make a case one of their most valuable players, especially since he accepted the role of coming off the bench after being a starter.
Thomas a block shot. Excuse me, Rob.
Well, again, because they're so worried about guarding guys out to the 3, Bucknell's been able to beat Temple off the bounce, and I think they've caught some of the Temple defenders by surprise.
And, you know, Casper's really the lone holdover from his freshman year, the team that stunned